Smitty tool. I'm going to show you how to make some realistic prosthetic hair stubble. So first you're going to need some hair. I usually choose the really cheap dollar store ponytail hair. You're going to need some spirit gum or adhesive, other makeup adhesive. Spirit gum works best. Play around with the different brands. And you're going to need some clippers for the hair. I like to cut mine up and cut some in a bowl. And then you're going to want to use the clippers to just finely chop this. It takes some patience. And you want to get it chopped pretty fine. You want to get it chopped to a very, not a powder, and not too long. Play around with the consistency and what you'd like it to be. But you're going to end up needing a little bit more than what I have in the bowl right now. And as for right now, these pieces are still a little bit too long. So continue chopping until they are smaller pieces, and we will prepare to adhere them to the face. Okay, it's very fine. The hair is very fine. As you can tell, it's little bitty pieces of hair. So you're going to want it about that consistency if you want a stubble look. So first, we're going to get our spirit gum. I have used a couple of different brands, and the only thing I have noticed is some stay longer than others. Some have stayed overnight on my face, some have not stayed past a few hours. So play around. You can order different types if they're not available to you. I usually start with the mustache first. So you're going to want to quickly, so it doesn't get super tacky, put some in the pattern that you want your mustache. Then take a pinch of the hair, a very small pinch of the hair. I start at the nose and I roll. And you roll to where it's fine. You don't want it completely covered black because it's just supposed to be stubble. So a small pinch at a time, rolled over it. And it makes for a very light stubble. And you can use this to go all the way around your face. And when you're doing stubble, that men have hair all the way up to the side of their cheek. So if you want to do a true stubble, you're going to want to extend this down. You're going to want to have it come at least nearly to the corner of your mouth. You're going to want full sideburns. And don't forget underneath your chin. If you want to go for a completely unshaven look, you're going to want stubble coming down underneath your chin. Men's hair does not stop at your jawline or your chin line. They grow hair underneath. They grow soul patches. You've got to look at photos of men with stubble and practice putting hair in the areas where you want stubble. Of course, if you wanted this to be darker and thicker and in any shape that you wanted as a clean edged out look, you can do so. You can apply more hair over this. Do not rub to get the hair off. It will rip your skin. Use mineral oil. You can use adhesive remover, but do not rub. To get a full, let's do a full mustache. So you don't want to do the rest of it. It's not, as you can see, it's not all that dark, but it does show, and it is very passable in public settings. As a matter of fact, I met a judge at a volunteer function the other day who had no idea I wasn't a bio male. So you're going to want to roll. See, one little pinch can do an entire mustache. One little bitty pinch. And you're going to want to remember to put it a little bit up in your nostrils. Men's hair does not stop where you think it does. It does, however, stop at the lip line. So when you paint it on, be careful to leave a little space between your hair if you're doing stubble for your lip line. Watch out for your creases of your lips. Hair does not grow from the corners of their lips. You know, make sure to give a teeny bit of room. Just make sure to do that. And so there's your stubble. There's your stubble look. It's a very quick, easy way to go with a little bit of facial hair that you can transform into anything. I usually go for a fuller beard. Right now I'm going to break it off and show you how to give yourself a handlebar mustache if you like. Get crafty and add a handlebar to this, or a little hair dangling, or, you know, just anything to blend that in or to give it more of a 3D look. You are going to want to get some more of either the hair on a ponytail or track hair, which is just hair usually sewn onto wigs on tracks. It's straighter, it's more consistent. You're going to want to cut a piece length, it's about half my finger, and split it in half. You don't need these edges to be completely symmetrical, you know. What you're going to do now is use a little spray adhesive on the end of that right there. And you're going to kind of spread it out a little. And what you're going to do is stick it on. And you may have to hold it. You may have to hold it for a minute. You may have to continue. You may have to play around with that. And once you've got that on, and once you've got that stuck, you're going to want to add more hair around it. So let that dry for a moment. Try not to talk. Put a little bit of spirit gum on it to hold with the adhesive. And like I said, let it dry, and we'll go on to step 2. When your piece is dry, you're going to want to have more hair cut up. I usually use hair a little bit longer than the initial stubble that I've put on. Add more spirit gum over the part that you've already applied the stubble to. And the stubble is always good to apply underneath because it gives it a base coat. It gives it a coat so that now you can apply larger chunks of hair. And it doesn't seem so awkward, and you don't have the spaces underneath. I always try and brush the hair in the direction of the stache. This technique is more for performance because on stage it looks great. Up close, there's a bit of a difference. Unless you take a whole lot of time, which play around with it. Do, you know, have a blast, but you're going to want to fill in the rest of your lip to the consistency, the darkness of the tip. So once that's achieved, it makes pretty well. But as far as performance-wise, that far away still looks great on camera, still looks great on film, and still looks great. Hangs off, gives you the 3D approach. Play around with that. It's just an easier way to add some pizzazz to your facial hair. Don't be afraid of adhesives. Just remember, use some mineral oil, some vegetable oil, canola oil, olive oil, whatever oil you, baby oil, spirit gum remover, all of those things will work. Make sure to moisturize your face afterwards. Make sure to give yourself a facial, or at least use a scrub, because your pores will get clogged with the adhesive. It will irritate you. And I can't talk enough about self-care when you're doing these types of things and having these types of things, as well as if you bind, scrub. But I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope at least this side of my face was a little bit more interesting than this side now. Need any more tips? You can follow me on YouTube /Smitty O'Toole. Thanks.